Support for KERA's Women and Girls Lead Initiative is provided by the Meyer-Levy Charitable Foundation Fund at the Dallas Foundation, Kalita Blessing through Dallas Women's Foundation, the Embry Family Foundation, Peggy Deere, Betty Regard, and presenting sponsor, Dallas Women's Foundation.
There is such a need for adequate representation of immigrants across the board. It's a practice that's made for me because it's about people, and it's about people's lives and how their lives might be transformed with the proper representation. I can't think of anything better to do with my life.
Liz Cedillo grew up in Dallas, Texas. As a fourth-generation Mexican-American, she claims deep Texas roots.
Well, my grandparents were born in Richmond, Texas around the 1910s. And so when people ask me whenever I travel, what is your background, I say Tejana, because I'm from Texas, I'm American, and my heritage is Mexican.
Liz is the only daughter of 5 children, the little girl her mother had always wanted.
I had a lot of strong women in my family. My mom had a lot of sisters, and her mom was extremely strong and courageous in her own quiet, mild manner. My mother had the same sense of passion about helping others. She put her priority in our education and in our development in character. That's the type of mom she was. She dragged me to all her little community events. From that experience, I think that she was trying to show me that I was here to serve. The most important thing my mom gave to me was my faith, my sense of conviction, and an internal guide to help direct my path. I feel her presence every day, rooting me on, my biggest fan. And it's great to have that. I wish every child had that.
Following that inspiration, Liz has created a path for others throughout her life. At the University of Pennsylvania, she felt the need for a support group, so she started a service sorority with 2 other Latina students.
There were a lot of people like me, first-generation college-bound. Largely what we shared was a sense of obligation, that our educations were not just for ourselves, although that was important. Our education was so that we could lay a foundation for others to come after us and be successful.
Liz was a student in my first-year torts class. She was a very fine student. What I remember about Liz is she had a maturity about her that stood out. I think partly because she was not a student who was looking for herself or her identity in law school. She already had it before she came to law school. She was there to find a place to serve.
While at SMU, Liz founded Si Puedes, a tutoring and mentoring program for Dallas school children.
I had Si Puedes in my head for a very long time because I felt in high school, I'm going to come back to Dallas and I'm going to work with youth because that would be my way of making good on all the things that people did for me growing up. And so in the right environment, kids can do so much with so few resources. Once we, as an adult collective, think about really what kids need, it's really time, interest, attention, guidance, and protection.
Out of law school, Liz accepted a position with a very reputable law firm, thinking she had a future in corporate litigation.
But I also had a sense of calling me back again, of, what are you doing for other people to help pave a way.
Moved by a letter from an immigrant at her church, Liz poured herself into learning more about immigration law, which soon led her to the Rio Grande Valley to work with renowned litigator Lisa Brodiaga.
It's almost magical every time I find myself in a new situation that a mentor presents herself and helps guide me and has more experience than me and knows a lot more than I do and has a different perspective.
Liz did most of her work in the Valley at one of the largest detention centers in the United States, Port Isabel Processing Center.
I didn't really know much in the area of the law or what people's remedies or rights were. I had no idea that people were held as prisoners, dressed like prisoners and shackled like prisoners. I didn't know that that was part of our immigration system. I was very naive when I started. So it really opened my eyes to detention work and really influenced me to serve people who were detained, because 90% of people who are detained go without a lawyer.
Following her experience in the Valley, Liz has continued to hone her skills as an immigration attorney. She now has her own practice and is highly sought after and respected for her expertise in this area of the law.
Y entonces cada joven que es elegible tiene que aplicar para la DACA.
She is an incredibly influential player in one of the most important policy and legal issues of our time, both in Texas and nationally, immigration. And she has had a large docket and has done lots and lots of good work in a variety of cases, in detention, trafficking, and violence. And Liz could have been successful at any area of law.
Qué bueno, señora Garcia. Qué bueno.
Immigration's a great fit for her because it's a place where her passion and the world's great needs meet. And all those things are what combine to make Liz a fantastic lawyer, a leader in the national and state policy debates about immigration, and a great mentor to young lawyers in Dallas and across the state.
When the judge asks you, do you waive a reading of the rights of your client? This is what he's talking about. I have other lawyers now who work with me, and I get great joy teaching them what I do and seeing them grow. I think about how I was mentored by so many powerful, courageous women of all different types of backgrounds, but I really draw strength from the experiences of those women who came before me. Some people would say that I take on too much, and some of my college friends say I want to try to save the world. But I think that all in all, if you ask some of my friends, they would say that I'm pretty faithful.
To watch this program again and see more profiles of Texas Trailblazers, please visit our website at kera.org/trailblazer.